boys and girls. So today in our math lesson, I'm going to be teaching you a new lesson from where we left off if we would have still been in school, and it's called adding mixed numbers. Now, before I start the lesson, I am going to revisit with you the basics of this chapter that we learned just prior to leaving school. So go ahead and let's look up at the board. Okay, I am now sitting, and I'm going to kind of turn. Okay, so remember, and when we started fractions, I talked about numerator and denominator. ND, Notre Dame, numerator, denominator. So if I have a fraction of 3/4, which remember, fractions are part of a whole. So if I have a part of a whole of 3/4, my numerator is 3 and my denominator is 4. Remember that? Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, many fractions that we write and that we use are sometimes not in simplest form. Remember that word? Simplest form? Okay, so to put a fraction in simplest form like 3/6, I have to first find the GCF. Do you remember what the GCF means? Great. Greatest common factor. So remember back from 2 weeks ago, I told you to take both those numbers from the numerator and the denominator. So 3, and I want to find all the factors that make up 3. So the factors that make up 3 are 1 and 3, because 1 times 3 is 3, and there's no other factors that would make 3. So for my greatest common factor for 3, I have 1 and 3. Now for 6, because my fraction is 3 and 6, for the 6, I'm going to write down all my factors. And all the factors for 6 are 1 and 6, because 1 times 6 is 6, and 2 and 3, because 2 times 3 is 6. Then, as I write those down, I want to see which factors do they have in common. Well, they have 1 in common, and they have 3 in common. That's it. So 3 is my greatest common factor. So when I want to put a fraction in simplest form, I have to find the greatest common factor. And so by doing that, I know that 3 is the greatest common factor. So I'm going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the GCF, the greatest common factor, which is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. And that's how you find simplest form. Remember that from 2 weeks ago? Great. Okay, now let's go down and remember equivalent fractions. And remember what I said, when you have equivalent fractions, take your fraction that already is in simplest form. Okay, and then I said don't go higher than 3. So you're going to take the fraction, multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. When you do that, 2/3 multiply by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3. And then I said you can also go up to another number. So I said don't go higher than 3 right now in 4th grade. So now let's go back to your original simplest form fraction, 2/3, and then multiply by 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. 6/9. So 2/3 simplest form is an equivalent fraction of 4/6 and 6/9. You could multiply by 4, 5, 6. You can go up higher, but these are equivalent fractions of 2/3. Okay, now I think we're ready to start adding mixed numbers. Okay, fun lesson. So when you add mixed numbers, so here's my first problem. And if you go to ConnectEd, log into your ConnectEd account, go to the math workbook, and we are in Chapter 9, Lesson 6. I took all these problems from that workbook page. Okay, so it's Chapter 9, Lesson 6. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go on my knees right now. Okay, so just give me just a second. Okay, so now I have adding mixed numbers. If I have 2 and 3/6 plus 2 and 1/6, I'm going to get 4 and 4/6. How did you do that, Mrs. Dolan? Okay, so here's the visual, the picture that shows how I end up with 4 and 4/6. Okay, so here's my 2 whole, here's my 2 whole, and here is my 3/6. I'm going to add it to 2 and 1/6. Here's 2 whole, and here's 1/6. Now, add the wholes together. Always add the whole numbers together first. Don't worry about the fractions. And 2 whole plus 2 whole is 4 whole. And now go to your fractions. 3/6 plus 1/6 is 4/6. Great, isn't that easy? Now, here's the problem though. 4/6, 2 even numbers, not in simplest form. So you know what to do. We're going to divide by a greatest common factor. So I'm going to come over here. I know I'm running out of room, but let's go over here. Let me move this just a little. Okay, I'm going to put up right here. I'm going to actually erase numbers, okay, boys and girls, so I can have a little extra room. I'm going to put a 4 up here and a 6 right here. Okay, do you see that? Okay, equals, equals. Think of all the factors that equal 4. Okay, you should be saying 1 and 2 and 4. Because 1 times 4 is 4 and 2 times 2 is 4. Good job. Now let's do 6. So there's 6 right here. Remember that from over here? Okay, so let's just recopy it. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Because 1 times 6 is 6 and 2 times 3 is 6. Now, let's go through what is the greatest common factor in 4 and 6. Well, they have 1 in common and they have 2 in common. That's it. 2. 2 is the greatest common factor. So then divide by 2 because we want to put 4/6 into simplest form. Divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 4/6 is 2/3, and don't forget to bring over the whole number. And boys and girls, that is adding mixed numbers. What do you think? Pretty easy? Great. Let's do another one. Now I don't have a visual, okay? But you can always make your visuals, not a problem. So you've got 2 and 1/3 plus 1 and 1/3. Take your whole numbers first. So 2 whole plus 1 whole is 3 whole. 1/3 plus 1/3. Now remember, you got your common denominators down here, so you know it's thirds. So what's 1 plus 1? 2. 3 and 2/3. 2/3 is simplest form. Done. Let's go to number 3. 5 and 1/8 plus 2 and 3/8. Take your wholes first. 5 whole plus 2 whole is 7 whole. 1/8 plus 3/8, you got your common denominator, so go ahead and put your 8s down. 1 plus 3, add your numerators, is 4. Oh my goodness, 4/8. You guys know this. 4 and 8, even numbers, so we have to find a common denominator. So hopefully you guys are saying, I know, Mrs. Dolan, I know it. Divide by 4. You're right, because 4 and 8. 4 is the greatest common factor of 4 and 8. So what's 4 divided by 4? 1. And what's 8 divided by 4? 2. So technically, 4/8 is simplest form, 1/2. And don't forget to bring over your whole number, 7 and 1/2. Let's do another one. You've got 5 and 1/4 plus 5 and 1/4. So 5 wholes, remember, always add your wholes first. 5 wholes plus 5 wholes is 10 wholes. Okay, now you've got 1/4 plus 1/4. So you got your new denominators. So put that 4 down. You're not adding denominators. You're only adding whole numbers together and numerators together, and you just keep that denominator. So 1 numerator plus 1 numerator is 2. So 10 and 2/4. Yes, you're right. You know it. It is not in simplest form because we have 2 even numbers. So hopefully you're saying the greatest common factor of 2 and 4 is divide by 2. You bet. You guys are great. So what's 2 divided by 2? 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And don't forget to bring over your whole number. What do you think, you guys? Pretty easy? Let's do another one. And you know what, boys and girls, I'm going to actually erase some of these. I'm going to erase some of these right over here since we're running just a little bit out of room. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, now your next one, number 5. You got 4 1/5 plus 4 3/5. Remember, add your whole numbers first. So what's 4 whole plus 4 whole? 8 whole. Okay, now add your numerators. Add that top fraction together. What's 1 plus 3? 4, and keep your denominator. 8 4/5. It is already in simplest form, so you're done. And for right now, the last one we will do. 4 3/8 plus 2 4/8. So add your whole numbers together. 4 plus 2 is 6. And now add your numerators together. 3 plus 4 is 7. And just bring right on over that denominator. 6 7/8. Simplest form, you're done. So boys and girls, that is adding mixed numbers. Now my goal for us in math for the month of April is to continue to do lessons. I'm hoping to get through chapter 10 with you, or chapter 9 with you, and hopefully maybe even start chapter 10, so that when and if we do get back together at St. Michael's School, we can just pick up where we left off and finish up the school year. So that's my goal. So boys and girls, keep working Alex. As I said on the e-learning page, 5 kids are in 5th grade math. There's a bunch of you that are ready. You're so close of mastering the rest of your skills, and then I can move you into 5th grade math. So keep working Alex. Ask mom and dad for help. Not a problem. Keep working IXL. I have some IXL for you to do along with Alex. Keep working that program. And if you have any questions, have mom or dad text me or email me, and I can help you in any way I can. All right, boys and girls, I have about a 12-minute video, so I'm going to sign off and enjoy fractions because they are going to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. All right, boys and girls, it was great seeing you. I miss you, and enjoy math. Bye.